Joining us now from Copenhagen is one of the U.S. lawmakers on that congressional delegation, Democrat Madeleine Dean of Pennsylvania. Congresswoman, it's great to have you with us. Thank you for taking the time. What's your message to Danish officials today?
Well, thank you for covering this. And I'm on a very special trip, 10 of us from both the Senate and the House, and importantly, 2 Republican senators. As your reporting shows, Senator Tillis, but also Lisa Murkowski, Senator Murkowski. And they've had very powerful words here. We've had the opportunity to meet with the Prime Minister of Denmark, the Prime Minister, these are private meetings, the Prime Minister of Greenland, and then we just came from, forgive me, a very large meeting of members of Parliament from both Greenland and from Denmark. We also had lunch with a bunch of industry folks. And I have to tell you, their hospitality is so warm, but they're very puzzled. They believe that we are the strongest of allies. We have a 225-year relationship, 80 years in NATO. Denmark, a founding member, and Greenland is a NATO member. So they're puzzled, they're dismayed, they don't understand it. I think our message, and I think this is true in a bipartisan way, is that we are your ally and your friend, and that bond continues, that we do not understand the president's ambition to take Greenland, and Greenland has no interest in that. They want respect. They want to rebuild trust, and we have a chance to do that. One of the most impressive things to me is when you talk about NATO, if somehow the president were to make a claim on a military move on Greenland, it could shatter NATO. Nobody wants that. So what I hope our message is we are your ally and your friend, and we will be for a very long time. After all, when Article 5 was triggered one time, who came to our aid and assistance? Denmark and Greenland. Denmark came to our aid, and they fought alongside us. We're going to tomorrow lay a wreath for the 50 folks who died serving alongside us, an ally and friend.
They're certainly getting a different message from you in this bipartisan group than they've received from the White House directly. And you mentioned Tillis and Murkowski are part of the conversations. We've also seen strong words from one of your Republican colleagues in the House, Congressman Don Bacon, who's not on today's trip, but he told a news outlet in Nebraska, quote, "There's so many Republicans mad about this," speaking of the whole Greenland acquisition talk. And he adds that if the president followed through on his threats, quote, "I think it would be the end of his presidency." To skeptical Americans who are thinking, oh, that's just talk from a retiring Republican congressman, what say you? Do you get the sense Greenland is really a Republican red line?
I hope it is. I believe it is. And of course, I hope we never cross that red line. And that is exactly what they hope here. But the damage is already being done. So I ask our members, Republican members of the House, Republican members of the Senate, stand up like Senators Murkowski and Tillis. After all, these people are people who have been in this native land for a very long time. Many of them live there for generations and hundreds of years. They're indigenous people. They love the land. They fish and farm the land, and they give it back. They don't claim it as an asset. They want to be our ally. They do not want to be an asset. So I hope the president is persuaded. The other thing that's very important that we hear every time, I've heard it from the Prime Minister multiple times when I've been here, they welcome our involvement. They are not under immediate threat, but they recognize the strategic importance of the Arctic. They welcome our involvement. The United States used to have 17 bases on Greenland. They would be happy for a proposal to bring back more resources, more American allied NATO resources, not some capture of the island. So I have to tell you, I'm so heartened by meeting with the folks here, whether they are citizens or they are electeds. They are our friend. They called us the older brother, and they're worried about their older brother turning on them.
You describe allies confused about why the U.S. is doing what it's doing. American people are asking why, too. Why is the president trying to do this? If you look at this new Reuters Ipsos poll, just 17% of Americans support President Trump's push to acquire Greenland. How do you make sense of it?
Well, I think the American people are very smart. They care about what is going on in our country, and that they want the president and us, Congress, and all elected officials to focus on their lives, not on capturing an asset or trying to capture resources. So I understand the poll. We actually discussed that in our meetings. And what it tells me is the American people are very smart. What I do hope is that the president becomes persuaded and that the folks around him become persuaded that there is a way to continue a very deep and long partnership with the Kingdom of Denmark for the good of all peoples, for the growth and economic growth for us and for the Kingdom of Denmark, for Greenland, for the Danish people. They are a peace-loving people. They also are one of the greatest investors in the American economy, one of our greatest trading partners. So it's a win-win if the president decides that he actually wants to focus on partnership, allied NATO partnership.
Congresswoman Madeleine Dean, thank you for taking the time and sharing some insights from your meetings there in Copenhagen. We appreciate it.